Long Island's #1 for all the hits, 106.1 BLI. We are here live in the studio with Danielle Savre, the star of Tyler Perry's Too Close to Home, airing tonight on TLC. How are you, Danielle?
I'm so good. So excited for the finale. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for taking the time to be in studio with us and talking to us about the grand finale tonight. First of all, I'm obsessed with you as an actress, and I'm obsessed with your character on the show. You've had a great season. The finale airs tonight at 10 p.m. How are you feeling about all this coming to an end?
Like I said before, I'm very excited. It's always great when the cast gets together for these live tweeting parties, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see how the audience reacts to all the things that are going to happen in the finale. I'm just happy to be a part of the whole process.
And what can you expect, or what can we expect, I should say, from your character Anna this season?
Of course. So things are going to continue to unfold in regard to the love triangle between me and my ex-boyfriend, who is now in a relationship with my sister.
Oh, my God. That is amazing.
Yeah, the love triangle. So that the ex-boyfriend is played by the very, very, very good-looking Brock O'Hearn. So you'll see some sort of answer in regards to the love triangle, but also with my character, you'll see the President of the United States trying to push his power as much as he can to get me back to D.C., and how far Heather Locklear, who plays the First Lady, will be willing to go to stop him.
Wow, we are super excited, especially here at BLI and Top 40 Music. You mentioned Heather Locklear. How was your experience working with her?
Well, obviously, at first, I was so nervous. I mean, it's Heather Locklear. You know, we all know her from Melrose Place and Dynasty, and she plays that villain role so well. It was nerve-wracking when I first met her. I was sitting in the makeup chair next to her, and she leans over and she introduces herself like I didn't know who she was. And, you know, she just acted like she was any other castmate and started running lines, and she was a sweetheart. It's been a pleasure to work with her and to do all those scenes with her and to see her make that switch from being so sweet in real life and playing such a great villain on camera.
That's amazing. And, you know, on that note, you recently mentioned in an interview with Extra that you relate to your character, Anna, who has made mistakes that have changed the rest of her life and how she copes with them. Do you see yourself in her? Are there some challenges, life-challenging moments that you can share with us that you had to overcome?
Absolutely. I mean, Anna basically left her life, left her child behind in this little town in Alabama to better her life in D.C., but she, in the process, left everyone behind and made up this whole facade of a life that doesn't actually exist. You know, her parents, these rich, wealthy people that are traveling the world and no one ever meets them, and then she gets caught in all these lies in the first episode. For me, Danielle Savre, to relate to that, I think anybody really in the world that's trying to better their lives or somehow become more than what they came from.
That's amazing. That's really inspiring and just so personal, and I just want to thank you for sharing that. I think we're all scared to admit that part of our lives. That's what you do as an actor so well, that you bring it to fruition, and the vulnerability is so amazing and so honest. What does it take for you to focus as an artist, as an actress, to get into a role like this?
You know, over the years, you learn how to be able to jump into it and jump out of it, because especially with this character, you know, every scene is very dramatic and very emotional, and so you have to remember the things to think about and the people to call after you're done with those scenes to get out of it. But to even get into it, I've really got to latch into past things that have happened in my own family or things with my own father to relate to the relationship, the horribly strained relationship that Anna has with her own mother. You just have to really tap into those memories, sadly. I mean, I kind of look at it as a positive. It's almost like a therapy session, acting sometimes, because you get to relive those moments, and then when you're done with them, you can let them go, and you're kind of at peace with them. Because if you're able to bring them to the surface and then let them go and go back to your normal life, you obviously have let those situations go that happened in the past.
Beautifully said.
So it's definitely a struggle at times, and I think that's why some actors are so tormented. You know, they play certain roles and then they sometimes can't get out of them. It's definitely a struggle at times, but it's also fun to be able to say, you know what, I have the power to do that. I have the power to snap in and out of it. Yeah, so that's fun to do with Hannah.
That's amazing. Bringing the vulnerability to the surface is not what everybody can do, and just portraying such a relatable character has helped me and my friends and women all over the world.
Anyone should really, whether you have a therapist or you're an actor or you're a DJ or whatever you're doing, I think it's always good to be able to tap into those things and figure out how to work them out. Or people in every day that aren't artists are seeing therapists, you know?
Right. Exactly. Listen, if this, God forbid, doesn't work out, you can always be a therapist. But no, you're an amazing actress. You're going to win an Emmy for this, for sure, by the way. I'm totally expecting big awards, like, coming through. You were on many shows actually before this, like Summerland, Heroes, CSI. What makes this show different?
Well, I think the main thing that makes this show different is that we actually shoot 8 episodes in 8 days. We are on location and we are doing 50 pages a day. And so that's the biggest shift, and
Wow.
obviously it's with Tyler Perry, so I think it's a whole different world with him. But definitely the most significant difference is just the fact that it's almost like an actor's boot camp.
Wow, that's amazing. You are a rock star. So you've literally been filming 8 days straight. Then you're doing press tours, by the way. I've been seeing amazing press on you all over. Congratulations on this huge success. You have no idea. I'm so excited for you. It just makes me feel so cheery. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, it's definitely been a dream come true. And the press itself, like everyone's been so welcoming of me in the show every time we've gone into a new network or station. And so it's definitely felt really good because when you're filming, you don't necessarily see that. You know, we're having a great time and we're a huge family, but to actually meet people and to hear how much people love the show has been very rewarding.
On that note, speaking of Tyler Perry, what's it like working with him? Has he taught you anything as an actor, as a performer that you can share with us?
Yeah, he's like, stop asking me questions. I'll sit next to him at like dinner and just constantly keep asking and asking and asking. He's like, okay, I'm not going to be interviewed anymore. That man is so full of so much knowledge. So I think what's most rewarding with Tyler is that he's just a vat of knowledge. He's been able to kind of lock in this area of the market where he's able to make great products for a smaller budget in shorter time, allowing for himself to make so many more projects in 1 year. I do think he's cloned because I don't know how he does it all.
Right.
But it's absolutely amazing to see him work and how it's just efficiency. You know, right after I'd done the first season of the show, I went and shot Blue Bloods. I loved working on that show as well, but they shot 2 scenes a day. You know, we're shooting roughly, 10 to 13 scenes a day with Tyler. So I learned so much from him and so much that he knows about the industry, but also how to work the industry. You know, you can't make everyone happy. I think that's one thing that's very open about. Like, he's only going to do what he feels is right. And that's all you can do because this industry can be full of critics. And at the same time, you just have to do what's right for you in the moment.
I love that. And can I tell you that genuinely, as a viewer, when I watch his stuff, and especially Too Close to Home, and I watch you in it, that's what I get. That's what we get. And I think the world right now, especially within pop culture, is starving for that, right? Because we don't get as much of that. And that's exactly what I feel. I feel when I'm watching it or when we're watching it, he's allowing you to go off into this land of your land, and you can tell. That's amazing. That's amazing encouragement.
Yeah, and everybody, actors should do that more. It's so hard because a lot of times you get on big network shows and you're kind of dealing with a corporate company who is kind of telling you how you should do the scenes and how you should play it, and they have a certain image to uphold, which you have to respect because these corporations have built themselves on a certain image.
Right.
But sometimes that keeps you inside this box, this very tight box, and it's so freeing as an actor to not have to fight day in and day out for what you think your character should be doing and just let the creative minds kind of just work, and what happens. And I'm glad that comes through to the audience as well.
I adore you. It's amazing. And I'm also going to bring something up. You have many talents more than acting. You sing.
Yeah, I do.
Tell me a little bit about, since we're a top 40 music station, tell me a little bit about the genre of music you like. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit about the girl bands that you've participated in, and if we can expect a single from you in the near future.
Absolutely. When I first started at a young age, I started in both singing and acting, and I did a bunch of girl groups. One was called Sweet Obsession, and one was called Trinity, and we did definitely pop music and dancing. That was the era of the Britney Spearses and the Jessica Simpsons.
Yeah, by the way, I remember that. That's so crazy to me because I literally followed your girl group, loved you in it, realized like later on, obviously, throughout all the shows, I'm like, oh my God, that's Danielle Savre. How cool. It's just so cool. Do you know what I mean? Like how you started. Everybody has a starting point.
Everyone makes it sound like, things happen overnight, but really that's never how it is. It's years in the working, and I think that's how we all grow as artists too, because I've had so many years to learn, things that I want to do and don't want to do. And, I started off with very pop music, but now I love music that's more geared towards lyrics and what am I saying and delivering a message. So I do have my friends that are producers that are wanting to get together again and start writing and producing some stuff. So we'll see. Once I get a little break from the press tour.
For sure. That would be great also. You know what? Hey, you never know. Season 3 coming Too Close to Home. Maybe Tyler Perry will hook you up with the main song. You just never know. I mean, was it a hard transition from singing to acting?
They kind of, singing and acting are very interchangeable. Acting and singing are very similar in the sense that they're forms of expression. So, it's just kind of putting your mind into different things. I mean, the difficult thing for me with music is that those are your lyrics that relate to something you felt or experienced in your life, and the whole world is then hearing them. I mean, the beautiful thing with acting is you can kind of hide behind the words of somebody else. I'm hiding behind Tyler's words, even though I'm thinking of my own emotional experiences that happened in my life. I'm really hiding behind his dialogue.
Right.
There's something very protective with acting, even though you have to at times dig a little bit deeper to get the emotion there. With singing, you really have to be so just open and wearing your heart on your sleeve 24/7. So that can be exhausting at times. I love to do it all. Sometimes I've learned that you do have to follow a path in your journey, and things happen for a reason. And I was singing and acting at the same time, and then I booked a show called Kaya on MTV. It was their first scripted show, and I played, and I got to act, and I got to record an entire album with Evan Taubenfeld, and I got to combine the two. And then after that was done, acting started taking off more, and I just didn't have the time to do music. So it's one of those things. It's like, okay, I'm just going to go follow this path. And as soon as I get any time off from acting, I start diving back into singing. And the second, something comes up with acting, then I have to kind of put singing on hold. I mean, what's hard with music too is you have to tour. So tour is like, touring with music is like a press tour. Like,
right.
You've got to make sure you carve out this time to do that. So it's hard to balance both. I mean, if I could do both 100% all the time, I would. But I just kind of try to follow whatever is laid out in front of me at the moment and go with it.